Myself, Dr. G. Srinivas, Associate Professor in Chemical Engineering at B.V. Raju Institute of Technology, Narsapur. Today, I would like to give brief overview about the wind energy system as part of energy engineering course. So, while coming to the wind energy, so how wind energy is produced, what is the phenomena behind the wind energy, how wind is generally have classified, that we will discuss in this chapter. So, if we consider first thing, whatever the energy associated in the wind, what is the reason for the wind? First thing we need to consider that it is indirect form of solar energy. So whatever the solar radiation received by the Earth's surface is responsible for the wind. So because of the solar radiation, the the air available in the atmosphere will be heated, and that will cause the movement of the wind. So due to the earth movement as well as the earth movement towards itself, and also movement towards the various kinds of latitudes, that will result in the wind movement. So that is the main driving force for the wind. So in the wind, we can establish the windmill various ways, and we can classify the wind as a global winds and local winds. And global wind is that primary force global winds that is produced due to the differential heating of the Earth's surface at the equator and polar regions. That is the about global wind. And local winds are the generated due to the uneven heating occurs on land, surface, and water bodies that are the responsible for the local winds. And distribution of the wind energy, this is generally affecting the various kinds of energy resources. Wind energy, the chain of mountains channelizes the air currents that will passes the narrow space that will cause the movement of the wind to enhance. So it will increases the movement, and the obstructions that will, like hills, trees, buildings, that will cause the obstruction of the wind velocity. So the frictional effect on the surface determines the wind speed, and various kinds of topography of an area affects the wind speed. For example, wind can speed up when passing through a narrow gap, such as mountain gaps, that will increase the speed of the wind. And there are different kinds of wind velocities with respect to classification. We can use different kinds of wind turbines. So if we consider the wind speed meter per second at various levels, 0.4 to 1.8 smoky drifts, or wind description is that more light, and in the case of 1.6 to 3.6 meter per second, it is less light, and 3.6 to 5 meters per second, it will be classified as a light. And similarly, the wind velocity will be classified as a moderate, strong gale, hurricane. So these are the various kinds of classification of the wind speed. And if we consider what is the various kinds of wind, while selecting the wind site, we need to have the data of the wind velocity, what direction we have, south, east, west, north directions. What is the wind velocity available with respect to time duration, that we need to check. That is generally represented as the wind rose diagram. In the wind rose diagram, in each direction, what is the wind velocity available, that we need to check it out, and that will be recorded for a couple of years, and based on that data, we might be selecting the wind site location. This data is preliminary for erection of any kind of windmills. So this is how generally represented the wind rose diagram at different directions like south, east, west, north. At what possibility we have maximum high velocity of the wind. So in opposite direction, we can establish the windmill, so that we can extract the maximum amount of maximum amount of electricity. So that is how generally. And also one more important thing is that the frictional forces above the surface is the high. So boundary layer, it will act as a boundary layer. So at the bottom of the surface, earth surface, the wind velocity is less. With increasing the wind velocity, the velocity of the wind will increase, and also the available wind velocity increases, means we can have the more scope for the windmill that will be erectioning at some elevation. So that is we can see in this graph with respect to of the height, the wind velocity availability is increasing, and we can have the maximum amount of 17 million watts of energy we can generate by using this kind of different elevations. And then again, coming to the wind turbine siting. So while site selection, these are the preliminary things we need to follow. What is the annual mean high speed of the site location? What are the obstructions available in the site? And what is the open plane? And what is the height required, wind mill height required? And is there is any near lake or oceans are present? And then what is the topography of the location, and what are the favorable land cost at particular site, and nearness transport system to the site. And these are the various things that are, and also availability of a windrows diagram. These are the things that are required for the site selection in the windmill. And the available energy with the wind is that we can represent the kinetic energy that is available with the wind is kx equals to p naught, that is half m u naught square. And if you substitute the mass with rho u a naught, then we might be obtaining final equation kx by equals to 1 by 2 rho u naught cube. So that is main correlation. So with this correlation indicates that wind per unit area proportional to the cubic power of the its speed. So that is how the proportional, the whatever the energy that we are going to generate, that is respective of the speed available. So if we consider the rotor windmill establishment, in that windmill the rotor plays an important role. So in the rotor, various components will be there. First one is that in rotor the blades are attached. These blades are the various kinds of blades we can have: single blade, double blade, triple blade, and a different configuration of blades we can use. And it is attached to the gearbox. And in the gearbox we have various kinds of things: brake system, nacelle system, anemometer, and controller, generator, power generator, and then yaw drive, yaw motor. These are the various things associated with the gearbox. So these are the things we can consider while establishing the windmill. And this is the brief overview about the windmill. Thank you.
Vishnu Audio Visual Center, like and share and subscribe and click bell icon.